Coming up on World's Greenest Homes. We're in Toronto, where this little greenhouse is living large. Hold on, wait for me.
Don't get lost.
And we're hanging out in New Zealand with some woolly heads.
It's where we blob out and enjoy the view.
And in Chile, we discover a country home with a super chilled lifestyle.
The minute you open the doors, the air starts flowing and it cools down.
Join us as we visit the world's greenest and most extraordinary homes on the planet. The city of Toronto lays on the shores of Lake Ontario in an area known as the Golden Horseshoe, where 8.1 million people make it one of the largest population concentrations in North America. It's also one of Canada's most cosmopolitan cities, with a vibrant art and cultural scene. We've seen a lot of green homes, but none like this. A shop transformed into a cozy 800 square foot, one-bedroom home. To the right of the front door is a compact kitchen, loaded with eco-appliances. At the other end is a welcoming living room. Upstairs, the master bedroom and bath give the word intimate a whole new meaning. And on the roof, it's the perfect getaway. Tucked in this laneway behind all these affluent homes, a former blacksmith shop has become an obsession come true for a creative visual artist from Venezuela. Every time Elena Sani and her husband Jorge opened their garage, they saw this industrial shed from the 1800s.
It was a very happy place, and it was quirky.
When the for sale sign went up, there were no second thoughts, and they snapped it up.
We live 100 yards from the shack, and our plan is that we have 2 children, and one has left, and when the other one leaves, Jorge and I will move here and leave our big house. Hello.
Elena, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I have a feeling that this house is all about compactness.
It is. You have everything in a small container. We're in the kitchen dining area now. As you see, it's all very...
It's clean.
Yeah.
White.
Yes, because if it's any other color, then it would look heavy.
Heavy, okay. This kitchen is anything but heavy, especially with the red ceramic tile and Korean countertop.
Well, I think the fact that we have so many openings allow it to feel bigger than it actually is.
There's nothing better than natural light.
Yeah.
And right up there, you've got natural light pouring in.
Amazing natural light coming from the 3rd floor into the entire house.
And the chimney effect they've created helps cool the house by venting the hot air through the skylights.
And it does work. I mean, we have never used the air conditioning here. And we don't have to remember they're open when it rains because they're on sensors, right. So they close by themselves.
A very interesting design. You have a window here. On the outside of that window, you have that great antique sliding door. What's the story on that?
Well, that was the door to the workshops that were here. If we keep it closed, it almost becomes a piece of artwork. Mm-hmm.
Why did you keep the door?
Well, if you looked at it from the outside, it's got signatures, it has mathematical calculations, it's historical.
Elena, you have some form of concrete floor. Tell me about the decision why you went that way.
This specific type of concrete floor is a floating one because we're very near the subway station, so the house is in constant movement.
Yeah.
If you have concrete floors, they crack if they're static, but this one will move.
Down here is what?
You walk into the living room.
Living room slash family room slash entertainment room,
everything.
like everything.
Yes.
You're talking about a small little footprint, small little house, and you guys were confined on certain places where you could put windows.
Yes.
How important was it to bring all that natural light into this space?
You do not want to be in a box space, no matter how big it is. Then you feel like you're in a hangar. For us, it was very important that there would be a lot of light.
Tell me about the handrail, just a nice, really slick, solid steel, contemporary design.
And it's also finished as a gun is finished, which is a very complicated and long process. You have to heat it and polish it and then cool it, and then I don't know what else you have to do with it. I remember my grandfather talking about it because during the Civil War, he was in charge of the Republican guns.
So this has a historical connection
For me,
you.
when they said, well, you have an option, you can paint it, or you can have gunmetal finish, I said, gunmetal, of
finish.
course. Now I'll take you into the master bedroom, which is a sharp turn.
Yes, it's right here.
Yeah.
Not overly large, but it serves the purpose,
It
right?
does serve the purpose. And you can roll out of bed and into the shower, literally.
What, that's the shower right there?
The shower is right there. And these were built in for someone with a minimalist wardrobe.
So this process has really shown you how you can live differently and more efficiently and burn less carbon emissions and really downsize, isn't
Yeah,
it?
editing our lives to something more sustainable. I mean, if we think about it, do we need the master bedroom that you can skate in? No. Follow me. This long, long corridor.
Hold on, wait for me.
Don't get lost. And in here, we have the bathroom. We have low flush toilets, and our shower heads are also
Low.
low. Yes. Low. And over here is the den. There's a small desk and the pull-out couch.
Everything's small in this house.
Everything is efficient.
Yeah. I guess that's the way to look at it, right? It's not small,
Yeah,
it's efficient.
It's efficient.
What was exactly here before?
A shack.
Obviously, you needed someone to take the shack to get this because this is no longer a shack.
No, it's quite elegant. Well, hi.
Speak of the
How are
devil,
you?
is
Yeah.
this the main reason? How are you doing?
John Andre Delia, the architect who didn't twitch when I told them that the metal had to stay.
We actually loved it. We saw the metal panels and we said to Elena, we said, we have to keep these.
And as an architect, that's a great philosophy of trying to reuse and recycle, try to build something that's already existing. You went with a black matte finish. I mean, what are the products out here?
This is a marine grade plywood, mahogany based, and the stain is linseed oil and a little bit of dish soap, and then you mix it together.
Like, that's how you make the paint?
Yeah.
It's pretty much the way you make the paint.
Okay, so it doesn't get any more environmentally friendly than that.
That's right.
I know you're confined about the footprint of how
Yep.
you could build, but you could build up. And clearly you can see you've done that. Tell me about that design and what's up there.
What we did was we added about 4 feet to the entire building on the second floor. So we decided to bring the lot to the sky because Lena was very passionate about having some outdoor space. And we introduced a courtyard on the second floor, which can be accessed. So it felt like an outdoor room within the footprint.
Andre, tell me about the design out here. Very clean lines, you know,
Mm-hmm.
nice cedar. You didn't stain it, you just left it.
We just wanted this to be minimal. Let the wood do what the wood wants to do. Let it go gray. Just keep it as a really nice, intimate courtyard.
And this leads us up to where?
Leads us up to the roof terrace.
Okay, well, let's go
Go
see
on
that.
up.
You really did go up.
I know.
Up and up.
Look at this.
We're in the trees now.
So how high are we?
We're about 22 feet.
And over here we have the green roof, the garden in the sky.
There are endless benefits to a green roof.
One is that it helps to retain stormwater, and it cools the roof, which cools the environment around it. So if there are more green roofs in the city, you get a cooler city. And also, it's beautiful to look at.
It's a surprise as well. You don't expect this house to keep going up, and then suddenly you're here.
You're right here.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's very easy to raise something and start from scratch, but having to problem solve in a very creative way was for Jorge and I something very attractive. We love it.
This laneway home is a fantastic example of urban sustainability and revival, and it works so well because this couple has embraced small footprint family living. Nicknamed the City of Sails, Auckland boasts more yachts per capita than any other city in the world. Its beautiful natural setting showcases breathtaking vistas, pristine beaches, and ruggedly awe-inspiring mountains. Just a short drive from Auckland is Papakura, with wide open spaces and an inviting 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath passive solar home. This bright and airy indoor-outdoor kitchen and living room are in the front wing, while the back portion has a light-filled double office. Down a quick flight of stairs is the naturally cooled and private master bath. Finally, the distinguishing feature of this eco-home is the wastewater treatment system that allows this couple to take flight and be able to live off the grid.
The house reflects my environmental beliefs because it has a low carbon footprint.
Pam Dormer knew she wanted to live in an eco-friendly home. Her husband Jerry, well, not so much.
I needed to end up with a house that had a good resale value, that looked good. That's very important to me, and at the beginning it was more important than the eco trip, quite frankly.
So the job of transforming the workspace into a home space was turned over to green architect Johan Bernhardt.
Pam wanted an eco house, but she didn't know what kind of features made up an eco house these days. So that's where I came in. So we met on the land first. I wanted to soak in the environment here. And while we were looking and thinking about what the design could be looking like, there were some large birds gliding down these slopes and into the plains and away. And I was very fascinated by that view. So I thought, why not incorporating that image somehow in the design?
And that's just what Johan did, as his design splits the main floor into two.
Welcome to our eco home. Please come in. This is our kitchen.
What I love about the kitchen is the fact that it's part of the dining room and the living room here, and it's just in from the deck. It's all like one living space, and also outdoors just there. It feels like indoors, outdoors. You can actually eat out there. It's not closed off. It's nice and open.
We don't need a separate barbecue because it's all right here. Well, we chose the cooking appliances from a local company, and they're energy efficient. The house is passive solar. It's open to the north. The sun heats the concrete floor and, of course, forces the heat back up into the room.
And if there's one thing I really like about this office, it's the fact that we've both got doors, and I happen to like hopping outside. I can just step straight out the door, enjoy the fresh air, enjoy the view. So it's indoor-outdoor sort of living.
From the office, it's just a quick hop outside and back down the deck to the...
Well, this is our living room. It's where we blob out, it's where we watch TV and enjoy the view.
And what better place to blob out?
We go this way, right?
Where inside you feel like, well, you're outside.
It's a wonderful room, and you don't really realise you're indoors most of the time. You can open the windows wide back on both the walls and enjoy the view.
Well, we've got tiles everywhere else, but here, because there's a room down below, we've got a wooden floor with carpet on it, and this has to be a synthetic carpet because I am a third-generation New Zealander who is allergic to wool.
That's different. Luckily for Pam, she doesn't have to get close to her woolly neighbors, but she can keep an eye on them from the safety of her bathtub. But things didn't quite work out as planned.
The plan was to be able to sit in the bath and look out the window. The builder tried to be rather helpful and put the bath as low as possible so that I could climb in when I'm an old man. I haven't quite got there yet, but it means that when you sit in the bath, your nose is perched on the window ledge. So one of the few things that didn't work out quite as we wanted it.
Although the room isn't ideal for stargazing, it's still very relaxing and eco-friendly, since everything came from the area, including this dual flush toilet.
With a small button, would give you about 6 litres, and otherwise anything else, the full works, you'd use the large button. And that gives you the full 9 litres. Shall we go and see where that goes? Welcome to our waste treatment plant. In front of me there are 2 tanks buried in the ground. The right-hand tank is the black water tank. So into this tank we feed the sewage from the toilets and also waste from the kitchen sink. In the left-hand tank, that's the grey water tank. That takes the water from the washing machine, from the bath and the showers. It breaks down the liquids into a reasonably clear liquid again.
What we wanted to achieve was a minimal footprint, but everything else, in terms of the water heating, sewage going down into the soakage field, all of that you can do, so it struck me, why not do it?
From grey water to rainwater, nothing is left to waste.
Well, this is where our water tanks are. We collect all our rainwater in these 2 concrete underground tanks, and that supplies us with drinking water and all our water for washing needs.
We've definitely achieved what we set out to do environmentally.
Pam got the green home she's always wanted. And for Jerry,
There were very few things we disagreed on. We just think alike, don't we?
Pam knew she wanted a passive solar, eco-friendly home. Jerry only wanted to keep its resale value. Together, they each got more than they planned in the house of their dreams. "2,800 miles long and only 265 miles wide, Chile is one of the longest and narrowest countries on Earth. With the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Andes on the other, Chile proudly boasts a number of stunning landscapes. And none more stunning than Alto Runge. Just 19 miles from Santiago, where we found this 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. The main feature of this 1,800 square foot stylish sanctuary is the expansive deck made from locally sourced wood. The breezy open space is divided into living, dining, and kitchen areas, with the bedrooms and bathrooms shaded in the back. Nikki, her husband Marcelo, and their kids were looking for a stress-free retreat.
We wanted to find a sanctuary, somewhere where we could really come in and get away.
Nikki and Marcelo fell in love with this incredibly rugged landscape the moment they saw it.
It was such a beautiful piece of property. I mean, when we first walked in, we were blown away. And you get this feeling of being in the countryside and being 5 minutes from the ocean. So we loved that mix. We really wanted the house to blend into the surroundings.
And their architect brought those ideas to life.
He really surprised us with what he came up with. Even though he's creating modern design, we love how he integrates his design with nature. All the sloping deck coming in the house, up the back of the house and the roof, it's actually one piece. And then the glass box goes in the middle.
We control all the temperature of the house, just opening and closing doors. It's a very simple system.
The minute you open the doors, the air starts flowing and it cools down. We wanted to feel that nature was coming into the house.
We want a big space, a lot of room where you can walk around.
So we wanted to keep it very basic, very minimal, easy for the kids to be running in and out of.
When the temperature drops, this Chilean-made wood-burning stove gets fired up.
We heat all this main room just with this stove. A low combustion, lasts for a long time, so we really love this piece.
Something really important for us was to incorporate local artisan work within our home. So we had these modular couches made in the south out of cane.
Cane furniture is perfect here because it can be used both inside and out. This handcrafted dining table was also made locally using area pine trees.
This is our table that Nikki designed, I built.
This is always our main focus in our family, entertaining,
Yeah, we
sitting
have
with
lots of friends, and in every house we have, we always make a table by hand. That's like the house tradition.
They've maxed out their space by recessing their kitchen while still keeping it accessible.
We spend a lot of time in the kitchen, a lot of entertaining. And we wanted the kitchen to be open and integrated in the living area because there's nothing worse than being stuck in the kitchen and everyone else is having fun, right?
She's got a point and a plan when it comes to bedrooms.
We wanted the rooms to function almost like feeling like you were on a boat. So each room has a sliding door and they all flow into each other. In summer, it can be extremely hot here. So we have these gorgeous windows which open running all the way down the length of the bedrooms, and this creates the cool air flowing through the house. This is our master bedroom, still with the concept of a small living area.
Small or not, the 100% organic cotton bedding makes the room very comfortable. And with the handcrafted rug, very cozy.
We have our own his and her bathroom sinks, very important. But of course here, the beauty is 2 walls of windows with this gorgeous view to wake up to every morning. We didn't take any trees out.
We didn't do any gardens. We just left all like natural.
What's not natural is the pool, though it's positioned to take advantage of the mild breezes. The water's not black, the paint is.
We painted the pool black to keep the water
heat
warm.
The black absorbs sun and acts as a natural water heater. Marcelo and Nikki are proud they're living green, but know they can still improve.
You don't depend on anybody. You have your own electricity, collect your water. That's our main concern.
This project was really special for us because not everybody gets the chance to build a house. And it was an amazing experience for both of us.
It's an experience that Nikki and Marcelo will enjoy for a lifetime. They created an eco-refuge that fit perfectly in a unique and natural environment.
And we're doing the typical Chilean salad of tomatoes and onions, a couscous with merquén, which is a very famous spice here in Chile. You can only buy it in Chile. It's a mixture of different dried peppers. I feel like I'm on a cooking show now. I'm cooking with Nikki, like the running commentary.